on with Amerie.
Okay, hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay, thanks. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes?
Yeah,
Yes? Oh, yeah,
yeah.
I said, how are you?
I'm okay, thanks. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Yeah? Okay, so I'm Samantha from R&B Junk, which is Italy's number one website about R&B and urban music in general. Hi.
Amazing.
Nice to meet you. First off, thank you for the opportunity to collaborate with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Okay, so shall we start with the questions?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. So, In Love and War, that's the title of your new project coming out on November 3rd, if I'm correct. Yeah?
Yes, yes.
And this is like the first album with Def Jam. And so we were wondering, how do you feel about this new journey you embarked upon?
It's great, it's the first time out, so with a new label.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like every time I have a new album, it always feels like the first time for me. Um, it always feels kind of like very new. But it's especially new because it is a new label, so it's almost like I feel like a new artist again, which is great because I've always prayed that I maintain that feeling, that freshness, throughout my career, and that I pray that I continue to feel that way. But it's great, it's exciting, it's an exciting time for me.
Yeah. Okay. So, new label also meant new producers, such as the legendary Teddy Riley, Brian Michael Cox, Sean Garrett, Jim Johnson, and many more. So, how was working in such a new environment with this new
Well, it
team
was
of
good, but
producers?
I've worked with like Michael Cox. We worked together almost every single time. I
Mm-hmm.
worked with him almost every album. Then he's a friend. He's great. Um, Sean Garrett, we've worked together on my second album.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've worked with the Buchanans all the time. I kind of worked with a lot of the people I've always worked with because they kind of get me.
Mm-hmm.
But, again, as you said, I did work with some new people.
Mm-hmm.
Teddy Riley
Yeah.
was someone that I worked with for the first time.
Yeah.
And he totally gets me, too, which is kind of cool because he's a legend.
Mm-hmm.
And you're always amazed when someone that you looked up to
Mm-hmm.
even, knows who you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially artistically.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow, that's so amazing. So, and he totally knew me and my sound. And he just knew right away,
Mm-hmm.
it's the direction that he wanted to go in. And he already knew what direction I wanted because he was already so in sync with who I am as an artist.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very, very easy. Very, very easy. Everything just kind of happened.
Yeah.
Warren Campbell is someone I worked with for the first time. Again, same kind of thing. We did a record called Higher,
Mm-hmm.
and he just started playing the guitar. I explained to him kind of what I wanted to sound like an early 70s, late 60s, early 70s rock and roll kind of vibe, and he just started playing the guitar, and I was really feeling it. And then I started thinking of a melody, and then he went in the room and started playing the drums, and it was kind of like a jam session. It was really cool.
Yeah.
It's a really exciting the way the whole album came together.
Mm-hmm. But with Teddy, especially with Teddy Riley, weren't you scared of working with such a legend? Because Teddy, if I think of Teddy Riley, I immediately think of Michael Jackson. So how was it?
Well, it wasn't scary because he didn't make it scary. He's very laid back. He's so nice. He's so cool that he just really makes you feel comfortable right away. At first I was a little nervous thinking about it, but once we met, it was just really comfortable. He knows how to make people feel very comfortable.
Yeah, so that must
Which is
be,
great because then
yeah,
you can really create.
yeah.
Wow.
Well, so in Love and War, the first thing I thought when reading about the title of your new album was the famous quotation, "In Love and War, all is fair," right? So what was the general message you wanted to bring with this upcoming release, with such a
Pretty
title?
much, about all the comparisons and similarities in Love and War. The things that are so much alike, and that's where that saying does come from in Love and War are all fair in Love and War, because there's just so many similar things.
Mm-hmm.
And Warren Campbell and I did a song called Love and War, and in the song I was just saying, like, in love and war, you could lose everything you had in one night. In love and war, it doesn't matter who's wrong or right, that kind of vibe. And it was one of the last songs that I did, and I felt like it perfectly describes what the album is about, which is pretty much the hard times in love.
Yeah, tell me about it. So that is what inspired you for this new project, this love thing, the constant battle, the battlefield of love, and yeah, am I right?
Yes, just really trying to delve into things that I experienced in the past, things that my closest friends experienced in their relationships in the past, and really just talk about those, because those things are so, what I realized when my friends and I were talking is that those things are so universal. Everyone goes through those things.
Yeah, true. So if you could pick a song from your new album as your favorite, which one would that be, and why? That's a hard question.
One of my favorite songs would be Why Are You?
Which is your first
Another
single?
favorite song, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Higher is another favorite record because of the vibe of it. It's very late 60s, early 70s rock and roll, soul. Higher is. And so that's another one of my favorites.
Yeah? Okay. So I have one special question from one of our favorite users. He wanted to ask you this. You've always made quality music, and you've always managed to stay genuine and unique in your style. So what is the path that you followed when choosing your musical identity?
I just kind of just go by feeling, I really just go by vibe, and I just really try to see what I'm feeling, and that changes sometimes. When I'm recording an album, I always have a sense of what I want to do. So because usually when I record my last album, during that time, right when I finish, I'm already kind of starting to feel what I want to do for my next album. So I always have an idea of what I want to do in the beginning. But, during that time of recording, things slowly shift sometimes. Things become a little more clearer, and it may change direction slightly. Not a lot, but sometimes it does kind of change direction a little. And you just never know, because you're just kind of recording, and I always just like to go with the flow of my spirit. So, it just depends, but I always go by feeling.
Yeah, that's good. So, if you look at the contemporary urban scene, who would you like to collaborate with?
Well, I always wanted to work with Lil Wayne, and I've been able to collaborate with him on Heard 'Em All, which is my new single. It's funny, they're not urban, but I've always wanted to work with the Killers.
Oh, yay!
Yeah,
Awesome.
I really like their music a lot.
Yeah, the Killers. Wow. That's a very unique combination. I mean, that's awesome. What else? Are you planning a tour sometime soon?
I do. I always, go on tours. But right now, everything's kind of, I don't know when, because it would be, right now everything's promo mode.
Yeah.
But I know my management and my agents, they're talking about a tour, I think somewhere in spring. So I'm not sure. Or maybe winter, like next year, early next year. But I'm not positive yet. Okay, we have 2 more minutes.
Okay, so do you have a message for our fellow R&B junk users?
Well, I just want to thank my fans. I just want to thank my fans and thank them for their support. And just supporting me and my music, and I really, really appreciate it. And I also truly hope that they love this new album.
Yeah, definitely they will, because I heard some snippets from the new album, and I gotta say it's gonna be a huge comeback. That's my personal
so
opinion. No problem. Especially the powerful drums, awesome, Awesome,
Oh,
really.
thank you. You know I love my drums.
Okay, girl. Thank you very much again
Thank
from the
you.
whole team from R&B Junk, and good luck with the promotion and with your new album. And I hope it all goes well. Yeah.
Thanks, Samantha.
Okay. Thank you, girl.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.